Hey everyone, a quick video. No, it's not going to be a quick video, it's going to be a really long video because this is a injector replacement video. I have not replaced injectors for bloody years, but did the injectors on this one, so could be lots of dramas with it, you never know, because I worked on it last. No, you never know, this is back in about 2015, late 15 I reckon, somewhere around then anyway, and it's now 24, so it's going to get a fresh set of squirters and of course new fuel pipes and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to get into it. You've seen all these videos before. If you're in the VIP group, there's the playlist. Just search the group, ask someone, find all that information you need before you do the injector job. But here's another one with some tips and tricks, but it's not all going to be in here, quite simply because I just can't include years of experience from many jobs until, you know, like, you just can't fit it all in one video. So it's important that if you want to miss all the pitfalls, then it's really important that you see all the videos. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to unplug all these wiring plugs, the clamps, the mounting bolts for the intercooler, and get the intercooler out of the way. So we've got the intercooler off, taken out some clamps, coolant temperature sensor, unplugged the injectors. I had to cut the zip tie there because these old clamps, they just break, that sort of thing. This one just come out because it's been worked on a few times, including before we worked on it. Now I'm going to take off these vacuum lines at the top here, which works really well, the big flat blade and just a bit of help. I've got to take the pink and the yellow off the side, the 3 bolts on this side unit, get rid of that. And then these 2 top nuts, the bottom bolts, and then we're going to take off the throttle body, get that out of the way. Don't forget to unplug it right there. Careful with all the plugs. The further north in Australia you are, everything gets hot, plugs break, stuff like that. Be really careful, but if they break, just follow our videos with a little RTV solution. No problem, right? So I'm going to do that. Move the fuel filter off here just to give you more access through here. It's just sitting around at the moment. You can disconnect and take it right out of the way. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to move it left and right and up and down to get it out of the way. Carefully not to use it to short any positive wires or damage any wires in here. Be careful with that. Clamps off the injector pipes. Clamp down there on the flat plate. The whole studs came out. Put the studs in the vise, take the nuts off. The studs are back in. We tighten them up once the pipes are off. We've got to take the clamp off number 4 injector pipe. There's a whole heap of stuff I've missed. This is just this really quick video because people want quick videos, but there's so many things I've missed, but we'll just keep trying anyway. Now I want to take this cover off the valve cover, so I'm going to get up there and get right in close because this one's a bit hard to get to. You need a uni joint, right? Well, it's hard to get to, but if you've done 1,000, you can make it look easy, so be aware of that. All right, there, 10 mils, and we'll get rid of the 10 mil. I'll just swap it for the 12 mil because I've got that handy. Cover over the cover, right? Don't forget those bolts. Wouldn't be the first one. Right, so don't forget. I'll just show you how that comes off because a lot of people aren't aware there's a cover over. It's actually a cover over the cover. So now we've got the 4 bolts out and everything's unplugged, including the bolt at the back on the top of the EGR valve there. Right, that cover will come up. You just got to carefully work around the wiring loom like so, and you get that out. Right, there's one more thing. Oh, it's tight. I've never undone that. I don't undo these, but other people do. What I normally have always done is just grab this rubber, flat blade, bend it around. But I was going to try and be different and show you what you can do. Don't discard this pipe if you decide to put a catch can on, because if you change your mind, this is the pipe that you want, because often they get rid of it and the hose goes straight down to there. Some of them, they just go out of here and into this one. That's good. Man, that's tight for a 3/8 drive. Well, let's see if I can do my knuckles on the video. All right, I could go get a bigger tool. That's a smart option. Oh, that's tight, all right. Right, now we've got the big breaker bar. Oh, there you go, that's cracked loose. We're gonna take that nut out now that we've finally got it loose. All right, get the right one, Anthony. All right, so I'm just showing you a different one. Don't drop the bolt down there. We're about to put a rag over that. I could have done that already, so that's something that I've slipped up on because I'm trying to do it quick. It's gonna be hot today and I wanna get it done earlier. All right, now you got that whole pipe. We'll make this easier to pull off like that, but it's just a different way of doing things, you know. It's not what I normally do. You don't need to do that. Just go like that. Now we'll throw a rag over the whole thing. All right, now we're just going to crack these fuel pipes. Important to use the 17mm crow's foot and it'll just come undone. Simple like that with no damage. A lot of people I've never had the trouble, but a lot of people have trouble with these fuel pipes. I'm going to suggest that they're insisting on not using the correct tools. This is a hot engine as well. So this came in this morning, which is not what we always do. They're cracked loose. That's now one thing we've got to do to be able to access the fuel pipes at the common rail end is move the stay, the bracket from the inlet manifold that's got the VSVs on it. So I'm just showing you tools, 12mm, single hex, extension about 6 inches long, 3/8 drive ratchet in the hand like that, down through this gap on the 120, right? Down, you probably won't be able to see a lot, but it's just down above the engine mount. I'm getting the tool down there now. I can barely even see it myself. Then if this fuel filter wasn't in the way, normally I go left hand down and hold this ratchet, but I'm going to do it anyway with a big fat arm. And yep, just back, it's loose now. I'm just going to back it off a few turns, but I'm not taking it out. I don't want to drop it, all right? And then reverse the tool back out of there. And here we are, right? So that bottom bolt of the stay is loose. Now I can take the top stay bolt out of the switch tool. Get the 12mm deep reach is usually pretty good for that one. That's this one. Might have gone a bit short, but we'll see. Yeah, no, I'll get a longer extension will do. Back in a sec. That's my 12mm. Where's my 12mm? Right, so it should be this top bolt. We want to take it out. Get rid of the ratchet as soon as possible. Actually, I'm not never gone far enough on that. Oh yeah, just. Wow, that's tight. I'm going to tip that's got a bit of corrosion on it or something like that. That white corrosion you get, you know, bit of engine washing. Let me see. No, nothing, clean, beautiful, unbelievable. Look at all these nuts and bolts up here. Can you remember where all these go? I hope you can, because I can't. All right. What do we got now? Okay, so that stay, I've taken the vacuum line off it as well. Be careful, it's just hanging by the vacuum lines now on the bottom bolt, but you can move it. Just show them up here a bit. See this? You can move it forward when you get to number 3 and fuel pipe at the back, or you can move it back to get to number 1 and 2 at the front. Like I said, there's a whole heap of tips in the videos in the VIP group, and of course I hope you've seen those as well. We better get this little 10mm off number 4 pipe clamp that I've kind of, well, I haven't forgotten because I haven't got to that yet, but sort of forgotten because I haven't done it yet. All right, so let's get that out. Usually the quarter drive in the 10mm, or some people with the air ratchets, whatever, you know, there's different ways to do things. You could use a thread, there's lots of different things. I'm just saying what tools I usually use. This will be nice and tight because you don't want that falling out. Apparently, they're one of the ones that, I don't know how, they can magically disappear. So just beware of that. Number 4, just make sure everything's, I think they're meant to be 8 Newton meters or something like that, but I'm just going from memory. Could be dreaming. So we'll get that out without dropping. I haven't dropped the bolt yet today. That's pretty good. That can go on the outside there of the pile. All right, now, as far as I can see, we've got to crack the bottom of the fuel pipes. We'll get the fuel pipes. Oh, I've got the flat plate still actually down there. Let's get that off. All right, one more thing to show you, because I haven't actually taken it off yet. On the fuel pipe, because the nuts, I got distracted by, I'll get this out, let's see if we can get this out of the way. It's just kind of like, this is what happens. Right, so that's kind of, yeah, get some light in your eyes. But in the meantime, I've got my fuel filter stuck there, so let's just pop him right up here out of the way. It's actually a good spot for the whole job, actually. It can stay there now, that's where it's meant to be. Beautiful, that worked out well. At least we improved on that. But behind these 3 fuel pipes, there's a flat plate there. And sometimes they get stuck and you need to separate it like that. And then you need to get between, actually I didn't take this clamp off, so take this clamp off as well. Just chuck that away, you don't need it anymore. I'm just joking, put it back later. And the flat plate on the outer you got to take out. And if you, where did that go? Somewhere up there anyway. What happened with me, both the studs came out, because that's what happens when you've gone past about that 8 Newton meters. So we've got to remember to tighten those up, and there's a flat plate that's meant to be on the back. You can see that other one there. Let me show you with the light there as well. See, so the flat plate, they're the same, in, out, doesn't matter, right? But we've got to tighten up those studs when the pipes are out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to awkwardly get to the bottom of the fuel pipes and get those undone. And it's something we don't normally show on video because it's hard to set up the camera. So the pressure's on you now, cameraman, to get in there. So you better pause it for a bit and take it. So we're about to remove the fuel pipes. Cameron's had a couple of minutes breather, you know, to compose himself. He's under a lot of pressure, dripping. What is it? What's sweating bullets or something, isn't it? Anyway, right, I'll be sweating bullets getting these off because I'm going to make it look easier than it is, right? So at the Prada Hospital, we can do that job for you, but I'm not trying to sell the job because we're busy and we can't do everything. I'd rather you watch the videos, learn, do it yourself. You can save your money, have the pleasure and joy of completing the job yourself, because I just don't care. But the concern is that you could end up with dodgy remanufactured injectors, counterfeit copies and that sort of thing, and that's why we still provide the injector kit. Monday morning, text message, 7:30 a.m. and watch all the videos and get on the Prada Hospital Facebook page. Otherwise, otherwise, you know, you're gonna end up poor man pays twice. But look, here we go. Oh, there's number one cracked. All right, it's often good to get number one out of the way so we can get to number two. So that's what we're going to do next. We're just going to by hand. All right, now that that's cracked loose, I'll show you the procedure as well. We're going to cap the common rail. Well, maybe they're not going to be off for long, but yeah, manifold clean, definitely cap it. Its caps come with our kit. We're going to get number one fuel pipe, and we're going to listen for the noise. Listen. Throw it in the bin, because new injectors equals new fuel pipes. New fuel pipes. It's in the workshop manual in bold writing. Right, that's why they come in our kit, right? Oh my gosh, look at all that fuel dripping off there. What are we going to do? Don't worry, people, it'll just stop on its own. It's all good. All right, now, get your bloody camera out of the way. Let me in there. All right, so the next one, it's a bit difficult to maneuver to as well. So I use the 1/2-inch breaker bar. I'm using a SIG Chrome crow's foot, but any crow's foot, you can get oxygen sensor tools that work. You can make your own tool. You can grind the crow's foot that we include in the kit, right? But don't force it. And see, because the extension's about to hit, so it's just hitting on the pipe that comes to the supply pump. So at that point, take the bar off and you need to find a new position. Sometimes you only get half depth like that. See, can you get in there or not? Can you get your camera in there? Because I want to show everyone, if you can see the back of the tool, it's hitting the end of where the fuel pipe number one goes on, and we've only got about 3/4 of the tool, but there's plenty to get meat on anyway, right? So we've got to crack number two loose. Right, now focus on the job, but can you get out of the way? Thanks. Let's see, it's a bit of a hard one, isn't it? Now I'm trying to turn that sideways. All right. So this is maybe kind of, I don't know, one of the hard parts of the job, if you like. And that one's already cracked loose anyway, whatever. So whatever I did there, maybe we forgot to torque that one up. No, I doubt it. Unlikely. But yeah, that came undone pretty easy. Right, now let's go straight to number three, because it is clear. Make sure you don't do the one in the middle. That's the one to the supply pump. We don't want to crack that loose. And if you do, you'll just need to torque it up again. There's number three already cracked loose. And this is where we undid that stay so that we can just move this forwards out of the way. So then we can you're working around a lot of stuff. It's a real pain for most people, but you get used to it when you've done it a lot. All right, pop that 1/2 in there, make sure everything's on, and just a quick crack that loose. Beautiful. Seems like a waste of a fuel pipe, doesn't it? But you know, people, trust me, they're dirty. Risk of contamination to your injectors. Come on, get off. Can't get that back off there. Come on. All right. We better cut the footage. All right, so we got our crow's foot back. Now let's take a number two fuel pipe off. I'll show you the direction it comes off. See this one, I'll go put it in the bin. Three, remember we cracked them all loose earlier. So they should just all be finger tight like this. This has had a really good wash down, and you'll just be surprised down the bottom, number three. You'll be surprised how dirty they are even after you washed it, if it's been, you know, used off-road. Now, bit of a procedure to getting these pipes in and out. You got to pull these hoses back a little bit sometimes. You got to fiddle around. I haven't done it for a long time, so I'm not that good at it. Never was really. Right, bit of a fiddle around, trying to get that fuel pipe out, especially with the throttle body, the E-jar. If the E-jar, look, have a look up here, people. If that's not there, look, it's just going to come past there a lot easier. but it's just a bit more fiddling around. You've got the hoses in the way. How fun is this? I'll get it out one day. Okay.
One day?
Yeah, sooner or later. There it is. I told you, I haven't done it for long, you know. Listen to it go in the bin. I don't do injectors. I've got this guy trained. He does it exactly like I want it done. It's just like I do it. So like I said in videos, that's generally who does. Sometimes I do stuff, of course. And you know, when there's issues, that's when I help out. And obviously confirm quality control. Now I thought I cracked that loose, but it's certainly not finger loose. Did I crack the wrong one? Did I get the middle one in there? No, sure I didn't. Okay, let's get the top one, make sure that's loose. Yep, definitely got that. Oh, maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Let me get the pro switch again. It was definitely loose because it was stuck on number 4. That's the one I couldn't get it back off. I didn't want to give it back to me. Yeah, there it is. It's turning with a pro switch, so I'll just give it a few spins anyway. Wants to be a bit difficult, make things a bit harder. We get that. Hey everyone, how about a round of applause for the cameraman? You know, put it in the comments, you know, all the clapping emojis. Right, that's the bottom of the fuel pipe. This is the one that's a bit harder to get out. It's going to be hard if I don't get the rest of this top. Smell that diesel fuel. Beautiful, huh? Mm. That's hot. I should probably put gloves on. Yeah, people, look, there's the hands. Yes, they do stuff, and they'll still be looking good at the end of the job because it's a clean car, see? And I just prefer, I like to feel things, you know what I mean? I don't like those rubber glove things. I prefer to get the full feeling. But yeah, you know, you can't win them all. Sometimes you've got to put the gloves on, save things getting dirty and diseased. All right, there's number 4 fuel pipe. Right, have a listen where it's going to go. And even though it's only been used once, it sounds, oh, see you later. We're not taking any risks with fuel leaks is the other reason. So risk of contamination. I mean, let's take a look over here, people. This has been washed. Let's have a look over here. Get in a bit closer. Stretch it in there, cameraman. Right, this is where all the dirt and everything accumulates. There's all dirt and grit. I've shown before in photos and videos and whatever. I'm not going to waste time on it. Risk of contamination to your new injectors with those dirty old fuel pipes, even though these ones were probably some of the best I've seen. It's still a risk. That's why there's a really fine fuel filter. Working on the fuel system's high risk. You need to keep everything really clean. That's why we'll put some caps on that common rail maybe, or we'll just hurry up and get this job done. I think I'll put some caps on. That's the next thing I'm going to do. And then we'll continue up this end of things. All right, so we've got to get these nozzle seals out. And yeah, you could wash them and clean them and whatever, but for about $5 each, and you're spending how much on injectors and pipes? All the seals and gaskets we just replace. We don't muck around, okay? So we had back in the day where you could save a few bucks, and you know what? We don't do the save a few bucks, especially on jobs like this. We just want that and that and that and that out, and have a listen to those going in the bin. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we've done the back 2 corners. You need the uni joint for those. Of course, careful that nut doesn't fall. Of course, same as that one. I normally grab it with my other hand, but I'm just risking it for the biscuit. I think I risked it in another video, didn't I? And the nut fell down while I was undoing the other ones. Who saw that video? Did that happen, or was I dreaming? Was that in a dream? Would have been in a dream. See how it keeps moving every time I hit it, but I'm still risking it. All right, because now they're all loose. I've got the back to it. You need a uni joint on your 10mm single hex, right? 6-point socket. You need a uni joint to get to the back to it. All right, what I'm going to do now is use a special tool called a magnet to go pick up all these nuts. That way I'm not going to drop any of these nuts and bolts, right? Because it's a strong magnet, you know, good one. Just put them down up there with all the other car parts up on that. It's a good thing about the 120 and the Hilux. You've got all that space up there to put everything, and you can get a good picture. And what I do, as I said in videos, all the longer videos with all the detail, not these quick ones. It's this one. This quick one's getting a bit longer, isn't it? But anyway, what I do is, yeah, you can see them up there, right? The first ones that come off start at the middle, you work your way out. Then when you put it back together, you know follow it back in. Same here, right? First up, well, this one is the closest one that goes there. Those two, that'll be the throttle body. These three, that's the plate on the side. There's the clip. I had to really think about that, didn't I? Look, fuel filter bolts, because they're aftermarket rubbish. Oh, bit of magnetism to the screw. We don't want that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come here to the valve cover. We've got all the bolts out, haven't we? Right? Just give it a gentle, don't ram it hard, because what's going to happen, you're going to damage these seals on the injector solenoid if you go ramming it really hard. But we're going to change these seals most likely. We're going to check them. We check and change if required. If they're nice and soft like new ones, there's no point changing them. We've got videos on how to change them. It's probably not going to be in this video. So now I'm going to see if I can get this hot valve cover off. Bit of a wiggle evenly, so it's not front or back, it's got to come up evenly. Once you get to about there, then you need to swap that hand over to there and bring this out over the injectors. This might get stuck, doesn't matter, it's just because of the RTV at the front, the way it's meant to be. This is just the pre-clean, so I've just got the valve cover off and I'm just giving it a pre-clean cleanup, right? So this isn't the final clean at all, it's just I can't stand bloody dirt and everything, as you can see. So what we're going to do, we're going to get in here, and you won't see a lot, but I'm just giving you the idea that I'm giving it a clean up, and I want to try and wipe what I can away from the engine so it's not going into the engine. Obviously, I don't want any of that, you know, falling in, whatever the case may be. Right, cameraman, take two. 12 mil deep reach. I've got the big bar because it makes it easy on the 12 mil at the back there, and just crack that loose. And then the 1/2 inch ratchet, 17 mil single hex, right? This one, the 1/2 inch go, you can go through it, doesn't really matter. These ones are a bit, you just kind of, you know, they're only torque setting, I'm going to remember these things now, 16. Right, so they're not that tight, but it just feels sometimes the bigger tools to pull it apart sometimes works better. Anyway, crack those loose. Same thing, the big bar for the injector clamps, 1, 2, single hex. 3, plug out of the way. You just got to imagine that wiring loom's not there and work around. All right, that's it. And just zip them all out. All right, so just by hand, I've backed that one out. Careful of the sharp edges on the camshaft here. Don't lean on any plastic parts of the vehicle that are going to break. Don't lose your balance on your whatever specialized safety tool you've got. Wouldn't be a milk crate. Careful they don't slip if you are using those, but I know it wouldn't be that, would it? I don't use those, do I? Not, because they don't work really perfect, do they? No, they're no good. That would be dangerous. You can't have been doing that for the last 30 years and got away with it. No, I wouldn't be doing that. Now that they're all loose, lift the whole thing off. I'm just going to hook this wiring loom behind that and just a little bit to hold this stuff out of the way a little bit for me. Right, just to give me a bit of room to work around the injectors, because we want to clean the ports, we want to measure valve clearances and stuff like that. So clamps, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put them on the bench in the same order. Right, now it's time to just lift these injectors out. So a bit of a twist and a pull. And I'm just putting a rag around, otherwise it's going to drip fuel everywhere. There's one, I'll take that to the bench. All right, next one will come out just nice as well, I reckon. There's not going to be any big issues here, because who wants these injectors? Anybody want, you know, they haven't done that many Ks, it's just they're 8, 9 years old, you know, they're not too bad, I don't think. You can have them if you want. Yeah, cheap if you want them. I mean, I've got to muck around and deal with you and pack them and waste time, so there's got to be something in it for time, but yeah, injector's pretty close. So this is what they look like when they come out. People go, oh, you know, what do they look like? Do they look okay? Well, this is what injectors look like when everything's normal. There's nothing to see. You can't tell by looking the outside of the injector if it's worn out or what they look like. Oh, look, yeah, look, it was totally had a big wear mark on the side. No, look, you know, they all have a wear mark. You know, I can show you that. Right, so it's around this side here. Right, they're all going to have that. Right, more around this side here. Look, these have done less than 100,000 Ks. They're 2016 manufacturer injectors. So they're about 8 years old. They haven't done a lot of Ks. They're being changed as prevention, the 8-year thing. But if you've got a car with 2 or 3 or 400,000 Ks and you can't afford, you know, about $3 grand for injector kit, then I could grab these and the pipes out of the bin, which was clean and emptied recently. You'd give them a clean up. You'd spray brake cleaner through them, make sure they're clean. You can do that, not me. I'll give these a quick clean up, put some caps on them, whatever. I'll do my flick test, which pushes fuel out the inlet, make sure it's all clean for you. Mate, cheap. We'll work it anyway. If you're interested in them, you know, it's got, by the time I organise it all, whatever, packaging and crap around, and then seals and gaskets, whatever you can imagine. But if you're interested, shoot me a text. I've got a few sets like this, and if you can't afford a new set, I can always keep an eye out for an old, half-decent old set. These are going to be a lot better than what you've got in your 250, 300, 350k old 120 Prado. Only suits 120 Prados and Hiluxes. So all the 120 Prado diesels from 1k DFTV in 2006 to 2009, right? And Hiluxes in that same date range, about the middle of 06 to about September 09. Look at this video in the comments. If I write they're sold on the name, they're sold. So, because somebody's going to grab them, maybe, whatever. I better remember to keep them, hey? If I chuck them in the bin by accident, I'll just say they're sold. Okay, that's cool. We've covered. One other thing I wanted to say, there is something interesting going on, because normally they look like, see how that's dry and it's got a bit of red, and there's no black goopy stuff there, right? See how that looks? That looks pretty normal. Right, now I've noticed on all the other three, let's just spin them around for the cameraman angle, push that one out of the way, it's mainly these ones. They've got this black goopy build-up, which I haven't noticed before, which is interesting. Right, so that's on all other three except that was cylinder number 2. So that's interesting. I'm not worried about that. You give it a quick clean again with some carby cleaner. Just give it a clean anyway before you put it in. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning these. If I spend time, it costs you more money. I'm going to give them a wipe down. I'm going to cap them, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do that soon. And but I'm just pointing out, that's interesting. But I'll supply new seats, you know, new O-rings. It's like 10 bucks in 6, 4, 10, 40 bucks. You know, it just keeps adding up. All the seals and gaskets. Anyway, that's it. Let's get back to the
So I've just given the ports a quick wipe out as soon as the injectors came out. Next is we get our dowel, which is included in the kit. Some little strips of rag down over the stick, and we'll give the ports a clean out. Just a preliminary clean like we did on this head surface. And then we're going to measure the valve clearances, have a quick check, even though we know they'll be okay. How many Ks is this done? 3 what?
360.
360. At only 360, the valve clearances will be fine. He's going to need over 1 million kilometres at least before we need to adjust those. You're going to have to drive a lot more, I'm sorry. And if you drive more, your injectors, you'll get more life out of them, because if you only do 80, 90, 100,000 Ks in 8 years, then 10,000 Ks a year, it's kind of like a waste of injectors. You need to get up to 30, 40,000 Ks a year. More trips, more traveling, people, and really hammer the thing, and then you'll get 200,000 Ks out of your injectors in one of these engines, no problem. So it varies, you know, the 7-year 170 thing is the guide. If you've got over 200,000 Ks and it's an old 120, you are absolutely dreaming. You better get onto it ASAP. Keep watching the videos, check the playlists, injector information, watch the videos from the start. So we're going to clean the ports, prepare for the new injectors. There's a lot more detail in the videos in the VIP group, and there's about 1,400 people. Not everybody joins the VIP group. It's on Facebook. Our group's awesome. Everybody loves it. It's not Facebook. It's just a platform we use where our group is. So it's not Facebook. It's the platform. It's like, you know, it's like what road you use to get somewhere. It's not with the destination, if you know what I mean. Does it make sense? Anyway, people love it. There's heaps of people that have done this, so they can help answer your questions, even if I'm busy, whatever the case may be, do an injector job like this. I'm not on Facebook now, am I? Clean the ports, check the valve clearances, a few things like that. More detail in those videos. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be back with you when we're ready to put the new injectors in.
Give me the bloody camera, would you? It's my turn. Give me it. It's mine. Okay, guys. All right, I'm on the camera now for a minute. Let's have a look at these ports. So what have we done? I want to go through a few things. Yeah, no, it's not going to be a short video. It's going to be a long video. It's going to have a lot of information. A lot of people are going to go, oh, I can do my injectors now. And you probably can, but there's still a few pitfalls, things I would have missed. So there's still more info to come. And one of the biggest pitfalls, I'm going to say it again, remanufactured injectors. Even if you think you're getting, look, I'm just watch all the videos. I don't want to keep repeating it. It's a waste of time. The people that are going to get them from me, I'm just going to recommend only get injector kits from me, and that's it. So if I'm not around or I haven't got stock, just wait, because it means no one else has either. And you've got even high chance of getting reman. Anyway, what I want to show you is, I haven't done the final clean on the perimeter of the head. But what I have done is check the valve clearances, and I feel like that would be a waste of time because, of course, there's nothing wrong with the valve clearances. They're all good because it's only done 360,000 Ks. So do not let people work on your engine and pull your valve cover off to measure your valve clearances, because they're going to risk contamination to your injectors and it's going to cost you thousands and ruin your job, especially if you've done your job. You know what I mean? Just do it yourself. Anyway, I've cleaned the ports. Let's go there and have a look at those. What's really good is the mirror, right? If we get this light happening, would be good. You might even see me if you get unlucky. Right, where are we? Right. Trying to, because the light sometimes just reflects. Hang on, let's just go like this. Mate, they're bloody spotless. Anyway, let's get this light on. Right, light on. See, look, I mean, it's hard to see because of the, but it's just there, just so polished there, just so beautiful, right? That's how we want it. Then they're guaranteed not to leak because it's as per factory or better. I'm gonna try and have a look with a mirror because it just works really good with a mirror. That's how I check it from, let me go to the front of the vehicle where I normally do it. See, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here? All right, so you get your mirror and you go, same reflection because of the light, but look, you just have to take my word for it. This is what I did. I check them like that with a mirror. Let's go to the bench and show you all the tools we've used for this job so far. Okay, so it's not a massive arrangement of tools. We've cut some zip ties, your 3/8 drive, your quarter drive set, mainly 10mm, 12mm, the 14 for, I can't remember what it was for, the 17 for whatever, you know, a few screwdrivers. Measured the valve clearances. This is the Toledo set, right, if you want to have a look. Right, the ones with a little bend in them, they're pretty cool. The dowel comes in the kit. Sometimes it's got a tech screw because someone put it in. If someone didn't, then you can. You just put that on your drill. That's why you got the 5/16 bit. We're not doing woodworking tech screws here, but apparently we are. Anyway, this is one of the final, sorry, not one of the finals, one of the many, I should say. This is one of the, well, that was the final in that color, and you can still see the dirt was still coming off, right? And then we went through a bunch more of these white ones. And what I do, so you're spinning on the drill, but, and you can see it's polishing up, it's even getting more material off the sides, but that's soaked in carby cleaner, so it's actually going to take, it's going to start taking a small amount of aluminium off, right? We're talking about a minute amount. That's what the staining is. It's not black carbon or anything like that. So white rag's good last so you can see what's going on, but you can see the ports are Mickey Mouse clean. You check them with a mirror. These are the tools, the sort of things you need. There's those injectors and pipes we talked about, back out of the bin. You need to clean the pipes. I'm not going to clean them, but that's a half decent set of injectors there. Again, it doesn't replace a new set of injectors, but if you haven't got the money, $3,000, or if you can't even do it yourself and you've got to pay someone to do it, look, watch more of these videos, get in the VIP group, bada bing. Let's have a look at these new injectors. So here's the new babies here, right? As they come with caps on them. There's no cap. This is because that's out. That's the fuel return, not a big deal. Solenoids, take note, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I can see a variation in colors. Can you see those two? This one looks more gray, that one looks more brown. A lot of people think they've got it figured out, what's new, what's not, what's old, if it's been replaced or not from color of solenoids. I've said it before, they vary a lot. I can't even tell you from solenoid how new it is or not. Now, the numbers usually look pretty good on the top, right? Not too faded. Sometimes you might get an idea from how faded they are, but if a mechanic's got dirty, greasy hands and he's rubbing their foot in plate, it might actually, you know, make it look old when it's not old. Mechanic's dirty, greasy hands. Anyway, bit of moly coat on the O-ring, as you can see. So we've got good new injectors that are definitely genuine, fresh stock, off my shelf. We've lubed the O-ring. We've cleaned the ports. We've checked the valve clearances. So these injectors are ready to go in, right? Wrong. That's right, wrong. Because over here, we've got the injector seats we need to drop in first. Let's go and do that. Things at once. I can camera and lose these. I can drop these in the engine somewhere too, you know. Again, people, don't worry. It wouldn't matter. It's probably not going to hurt anything. Bit of copper. It's not ideal, but don't worry about it. Now let's have a look. Did they land flat? Yes. Yes. Looks like it. No. Yes. Can you please pass me that little red screwdriver? Give it a wipe on the end. Make sure it's clean. That's it. So you've got the assistant cameraman, assistant nurse. Suction. Okay. Give it a bit of a tickle and then have a look. So it'll be sitting flat now. Now it's a bit blurry, I know it doesn't focus, but I'm going to check with my mirror. All right, so I can see it's sitting flat, flat and clean,
flat and clean. Flat and clean, beautiful, everything's clean. These injectors are going in. We've already got a photo of the compensation code. You need to record that. This is order of injector for me. You read left to right, engines are numbered front to back. So left's number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go and drop these in the engine. For a 120 Prado in Australia, the injector compensation code, the first digit should start with 13. So if it's ever anything different, you need to just start double checking my videos and who you got your injectors from. Even if it was me. I haven't made that mistake yet, but there's always a first time, which is why I tell you, check the 13s, check the 18s, check the 14s. They just went in so beautiful. You just have a look at that. They are just bottomed out, right? But minimal play, but the older heads had a bit more. They made these injectors. That's the thing about brand new, fresh injectors. They do keep making changes. I don't know if they have lately, to be honest. I haven't noticed anything lately, but you'd have to handle a lot of injectors to notice these things. Injector alignment's really important. Next thing we're going to do, what I need you to do is take these big bolts out. We're going to upgrade to these little ones for you. They're much better. There's the part number if anyone wants it. Try and get one that's not ripped. There you go, that one there. Right, they're the small ones. If you've got a 120, good chance you're going to have these big fat 17s. So those bolts come out. These, discard these old washers into the bin, put new washers sitting just like that, and those bolts in that position, and then get a drop of oil and put it underneath the head of the bolt, so it goes between the head of the bolt and the washer here, so that when we tighten this, it tries not to twist. See how these twist? They do twist. You can't control it, but we do our best. Little bit of oil under there, a couple of drops, just so it's wet. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for your help. Hey, when did you get all this back together? Hang on, but we didn't get footage. No, look, relax, people. All we've done is, like I said, I dropped the injectors in. I sat the clamps on. They're just finger tight, right? Just sitting there, same as these, finger tight. And what I wanted to demonstrate was injector alignment is super important at this stage, so we'll include that in this video. But like I said, we can't include everything. Don't take those red caps off till late as possible, as demonstrated in other videos. But see this, like I said, finger tight. They're tight, finger tight, but see how the injector wiggles left to right? So what I do, as I'm tightening it up, I sort of wiggle it as I'm tightening it to centralize it in that fuel return line. And that's your first step of injector alignment, right? Now, there's torque settings for all these. Must be torque. This is just absolutely imperative. This is one component, and I've done that with all these. So I wiggled. So you think the alignment's right, but if you haven't watched all the videos, you don't know things like, don't look at the head of the injector, because that's torque to spec as well, and that could be on an angle. You've got to look at the injector alignment, the red cap part, right? Now, the alignment of those is probably bang on, but we need to double check, and the best way to do that is to put the valve cover on. Do not push it on all the way. It'll get stuck over the red caps. You won't get it off again. The idea is to just sit it on. We've got a test fit valve cover. So while the other one's just been washed recently, it's outside drying in the hot sun, it's been blown dry. We want it bone dry. Then we'll check the cracks. Then we'll check the seals. There's lots of things to do. You don't want to miss the videos in the VIP group. I can't fit it all in this one. I'm trying to be quick. I know it's not quick, but anyway. Basically, the alignment's got to be bang on. So the cover's going to go on. You just have a look at those red caps if they're sitting in the bottom of the circle, nice and central. If they're not, then because these are not clamped down and these are still moving as demonstrated on number 4 a minute ago, you'll be able to get like a big flat blade and just gently get in there and push on the injector and be able to move it a bit left and right to get the alignment bang on, because that's what we want. It's probably okay, but probably 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 might need a little bit of adjustment. Say 2 out of 10, 20% they need a little bit of adjustment, 10% or less. Well, that's a fair way out. So what's happened, I don't know really, but sometimes people have worked on it before, they bent the return line. No, you don't need to replace that. If I don't talk about it in my videos in the VIP group, you don't need to do it, okay? So we're just gonna go check the alignment now, and if the alignment's correct, next thing you'll do is you'll catch us torquing these up to only one torque specification, not 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 32, anything like that. It's just plain old 22 Newton meters. Simple as that. It's imperative these must be 22 Newton meters, okay? 22 Newton meters, all the clamps. 22 Newton, put in the comments, 22 Newton meters on the injector clamps. Thank you very much. All right, now, then we're going to do these ones. Not 20, not 25, no, 16 Newton meters. Can you remember that? 16 Newton meters, yep. 16 on 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the one at the back in the head, that's different again. That's 13 Newton meters, and they're your most imperative torque specifications for this job. So check your alignment and get your damn things torqued up. Then you can finish cleaning this head surface ready for the valve cover. You can check your seals, replace your gaskets. You can put your 4 little dobs on there, and then the valve cover's going on. We're going to do that now. See ya. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing?
Cleaning.
How clean does it need to be?
Spots.
Exactly, that's right. So we're going to clean the head surface now. Little bit of carby cleaner on the end of the rag every now and then just to get any oil away. These rocker cover gaskets, they never leak unless you let some aftermarket butcher get in there and do a butcherous job, or aftermarket stuff, or bad torque procedures. But look, 22 on the injector clamps is done, 16 on those 4 is done, 13 at the back. So that's all torqued up. That's imperative. If you ever work on any diesel engine, that's the part you want to check, is next the valve cover is going to go on. Obviously, we checked all the alignment with the test fit valve cover. You can do it with your own, put moly coat on the seals and everything. All the other information in the VIP group, in those videos, you need to watch it, soak it all in before you make a mistake, because it's the job that's got to be done right and last you about 10 years, so more or less. So you just want to get it right the first time. Oh my, this E-jar is pretty clean. 7mm, people, 8 years. So, you know, you can argue the point if you like. If you want to turn it off, we know someone that can do that for you. If you want to be 7mm, be happy with that. The only reason I mention it is there's enough people that have had them switched off with everybody else around the place, and it hasn't caused any issues. And one of the possible issues is this E-jar cooler internally leaking and then coolant coming up at the E-jar valve there, where that little valve there opens up. If it stays shut, then it can't let any coolant in, saving your engine. So just thought I'd mention again, just briefly, if you're getting an injector job done, you know, you can go 7mm or you can go 0% or whatever you want. We know someone that's at your choice. You need to suss out, you know, how all that works. And if you want to do that, we'll discuss it briefly before you make the decision what you want to do on your vehicle. Nice and clean here, oil changes. It's all torqued up. You happy with how clean it is? We're going to put 4 little dobs of RTV, the prescribed places as per the workshop manual and our VIP. Totally agree with Toyota on that one. A new valve cover gasket. But let's check those seals on the valve cover and moly coat those seals first. That's the next step. Hey mate, where's the valve cover? Ah, thanks buddy. Awesome, yeah. Is that nice and clean? Yeah, look at that. It's like a new one. Yep, you could eat off it. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a bit silly now. Obviously all new seals, but what about these ones? We've shown in some videos how to change those. Quite often you don't need to. These ones, they're not as soft as new ones. Let's have a look at the other side. Oh, look, it's like a new valve cover, isn't it? Be careful of these. They are just whatever type of plastic, you know, I call it plastic slangly, you know, whatever it is, you know. These, you know, they're not bad. See how they're soft still? They're not going to leak, right? These don't leak. When they leak, it's when people have got dirt and sand, because they don't do what we just did and clean it like this, right? And there's sand, a little bit of sand grit holds that open, and then the oil trail goes through there. And but these, they're not bad at all, actually. I'm kind of going, I want to change them, but I don't like. We're going to change them, okay? We're going to change them. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways to get these out. DIY style, right? You can get your little flat blade in underneath there and just gently pry it out. You'll leave a little mark on the valve cover. Oh, maybe it has been changed before, because there is some tiny little scratches there. Maybe that's why they're still good. But we'll change them, because this is for another 10 years and it's an 08, 09, something like that. Yep. So they could be 14 years old. So let's change them to be sure. That's what we're doing on this job, to be sure, to be sure. But yeah, just gently pry those. It doesn't matter if you leave a mark there. You're not going to bust your valve cover. Where you got to be careful of, if you're pushing and manhandling it around, that you don't break it by putting too much pressure or hammering things into this cover. You could break the cover. The other way to do it, you can have it around this way, and you can gently get in behind there and just sort of pry and push them out. They're not really badly stuck. There's more chance you could crack or break the cover this way. So probably go against where the support is under here, you know, end to end, like just a little flat blade. I'm not going to demonstrate in this video. I've done it in other videos. There's a few different ways to do it. Once you get them all out, so just be careful of the cover in general. Lay it on a pile of rags or something like that. Once you get them out, clean up the area in here, put some moly coat on the outside of the new seals, and just gently push them in. Get your 2 thumbs each side and just boom, 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 you know what I mean? Push them like this, and they'll just come, have a look, see where they sit. They're just a little bit below the surface there. They'll just push in. Make sure they're all the way in. You'll just feel them, they'll look right, whatever the case may be, and you'll be able to see it this side here. Looks like that one's not all the way in. I think someone's replaced these at some stage. Maybe that's why they're not looking too bad. And then there's a little mark there. But I don't think we replaced these, because back when we did this, I never replaced them because they're always good. but it went to the dealer quite a few times under 200,000 Ks. So I guess at one of those is where they replace these, but we'll get them fitted in there properly. You can see it's not quite all the way down, but not a big deal. Bada bing, we're going to change the seals. We're going to put a new gasket in. The surface is clean, 4 drops of silicone, cover goes on. Let's do it. All right, people, it is imperative that you watch videos to the end. I've made a mistake. Who noticed? I've made a mistake that I've never made. I've done hundreds or thousands of these and plenty others, and nobody I know has ever made this mistake. I'll tell you what the mistake was. If you watch the video in detail properly, when I used the magnet, you want to wave the magnet in front of the camera, the magic wand, bit lower, mate, bit lower. Yeah, when I used the magnet to pull these bolts off, if you counted like I did in the end, because when there's a problem, you've got to find out why. So we had the valve cover on, we had the RTV silicone done, we had the caps off. Never forget to take those red caps off. That was coming in the next part of the video, but we've had to rewind the video a little bit. Valve covers back off again, caps are back on the injectors, all that sort of stuff, because I put all the bolts in the valve cover and there was a nut missing. And then as I walked over to my spare nuts and bolts going, I've never had a nut missing, I said to myself, that's right, when we took the cover off, did you notice, right, something fell, and we believe it fell into the engine. So I went back to the video. That's why videos are good, right? So if there's a nut or bolt missing, find it before you put it together, and don't make this mistake. The mistake was that little nut. In the excitement of making videos and in the excitement of, you know, doing injectors here with a mate we're together, I can tell you now that's where things go wrong. That's why I will never be supervised on an injector job. Don't talk to me, because I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying distractions and different systems instead of being the usual system, systematic procedure. I've used the magnet, boom, 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 and I've missed that nut. See that nut there? I believe I missed picking that up with a magnet. I checked the video. You can rewind, check it yourself. And then when I lift the valve cover off, it falls off the back as I'm coming around. It goes flying down here, and on the video I went bang, that went in the engine. That's why we can't find the other one of these flat nuts. And I said, we've got to find it. So we've got the cover off. I'm going to get in there and see what we can find. It's going to be pretty easy, I reckon, because that's how these things work. To be honest, if it fell, you don't want it down in the gearing here between the camshafts, but that's not going to do anything. It's just going to drop to the bottom. You could leave a nut in here. It's not going to hurt anything, but that's not how I roll. So let's find it. It'll help if we've got the light on. Okay, so we'll look around. There it is. I saw it. I said, I reckon it went in the first third of the engine. And there you go, people. That's the one we're looking for. Bingo. Now, we'll continue with the job and get the cover back on. And for all the people in the comments that went, oh, you've dropped something at 32 minutes and 53 seconds, I say, keep watching the videos. Anyway, catch you soon. Okay, so the cover's on. We put these seals on as verandas so stuff can't fall to the injectors inlets, but we're going to get the pipes on quick as we can. I'm not going to torque the valve cover. They're just nicely down to the crush tubes, probably at about 7 or 8 Newton meters. I'll get the pipes done. Once the pipes are on, then we'll torque the valve cover to 9 Newton meters, and the fuel pipes will get torqued to 32 Newton meters. That always works. That's what it's meant to be. Bada bing. But we're not going to fluff around trying to video. It's all fiddly stuff, and I can't be bothered with it. Opposite of what we put it on, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we push in all those seals as we put the pipes in, okay? Always remember to take those out before you remove the valve cover as well, because some people forget that. A lot of things people forget, so I say watch a lot of videos, because like I just stuffed up and solved the problem. Lucky, look, it wouldn't have caused any issues, but would have cost me $2 for a nut. I don't like wasting my nuts. I want to use the one that came off the vehicle, and something told me, nah, let's go and have a look. And then we looked at the video, and yeah, lucky we videoed. Anyway, we're in a safe area now that the valve cover's on. Even safer once the pipes are on. I want to get those on, so I'm going to get the job done. All right, people, as you can see, it's back together. Gets a bit time consuming running long videos on whole jobs and all that sort of thing. Hit the like button. You got a lot out of this one. There's plenty more in the VIP group if you want to watch longer, more detail. Like I said, there's about 10 injector replacement videos similar to this that go for even longer in different parts, and some of them all in one that go for hours and all sorts of things. So I'm going to run through a few things where we're at, some finishing touches now. Once the cars get a bit older and the clips, they deteriorate, things break, a few zip ties to replace them, or you can go shopping at your Toyota dealer, of course. There's a lot of things not to be forgotten. Let's have a look at the bench first and have a look at the final tools collection. So if you bothered to hang around, this is pretty much every single thing we use. So you can have a look, have I got one of those, right? There's things you can do without, like the impact driver you don't have to have. Torque wrench up the top there, that's the, I won't tell you what it is, there it is, right? That's what we used on this job. The 1/2-inch cross was just easy to crack them open with the bigger bar. The 3/8 drive, one of those comes in our injector kit if you're interested in that. The 17mm just to get the pipe started at the top. 3/8 drive, quarter drive, little heater hose removing tool. 12mm ratchet spanner. This was without an E-jar clean. There might be a couple other tools you need with an E-jar clean. There is, I just grabbed those so you can see what they are. Where's the 10mm ratchet spanner? No, it's not on the magnet there. Oh, did I grab that down? Oh no, here it is. I got it out anyway. So I didn't use it actually, but I was preparing for you, right? For those upside down bolts on the E-jar valve. Side cutters to cut zip ties, mirrors, clean the dowel. Turn the crankshaft over, 22mm and a 1/2-inch. Hammer was for the little, getting those seals out of the valve cover. I'll show you in other videos. One of them was a bit stuck, but they came out pretty easy. We went from the top, flat valve cover on the bench, at the top on an angle, tap, tap, and then just lever it and it just pops out. No damage to the cover whatsoever. Heaps of moly coat on those seals and they just push in with your fingers. They even pop back out. So you got to get them in all the way, wipe the moly coat off and then moly coat inside the seals. Again, it goes on about in so many videos. It's time to start watching now. Get yourself educated if you haven't. A lot of people are already educated. Half this stuff they already know, but you know what? They're even fresher and better at it now. Thanks for watching. Let's go back to the car. This is the leftover parts other than gaskets we've thrown out. We put a new map filter on it since it's been nearly 10 years. Obviously things are nice and clean. This set of injectors and pipes, like I said earlier in the video, just shoot me a text at the right time if you're interested in those. I'll let them sit on the bench till then. If I don't get anything in the next short period of time after the video comes out, I'll throw them out, whatever, anyway, pass them on to whatever. I don't know what they'll do, but trying to get rid of them. It seems like a waste because they're not the worst injectors, if you know what I mean. They're perfectly reusable. If you've got a 400,000 K120 that's never had injectors and it's running like rubbish and you don't want to spend 3 or 4 or 5 grand on it, then a few $100, whatever, you're going to get these in there and bada bing, beautiful. So a couple of zip tie upgrades there, beautiful. And use the flush cuts there to cut off the excess if you want. Or you can just leave it there. Who cares anyway? As long as it's not sharp, mate. Whatever. It's up to you. If you thought you were had more OCD than that, having that flop in there, yeah. Okay. So obviously putting it back together, it's the opposite order of what you put it in. The pipes are a bit fiddly to get in there. 4. I put in 4. Spanner at the top. 3. Spanner at the top. 2. Spanner at the top. Put the couple clamp at the top. The clamp on number 4 pipe. You can't put the other clamps till you put number 1 pipe. So spanner is, I hold the pipes in, nip, 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 just lightly. They're not up to torque spec, just to help hold it in place. Then I torque down the bottom, 4, 3, 2 down the bottom of the common rail. Fiddly to get to. You need your crow's foot, your torque wrench and all that needs to be done. It's quite fiddly to get down into there. That's why it's no point videoing. You're just going to see me fiddling around. It's got to be patience, you know. Number 3 and 2 pipes sort of come in, you put them in that direction. Number 1, you put it, you know, facing forwards is the way it comes out, sort of like that. So it goes back in like that. If I've explained that right. I torque number 4, 3, 2. Once 2's done, then I put on number 1 pipe because I can't get to torque number 2 properly with a crow's foot if number 1's in the way. Then put number 1 on, torque number 1 at the bottom. Then I go and torque 4, 3, 2, 1 at the top. Put the rest of all the clamps on actually before I do any of that. As soon as 1's on, the flat clamp goes on, the other clamp at the top goes on. Double check all the clamps are on, torque the top, torque the bottom, whatever, you know what I mean? And double check, make sure it's all done. Same as before you put the valve cover on, double check you haven't missed anything. Return line, there's 9 things in there that need to be done. Make sure no nuts fall in there or anything like that. Cover goes on, don't forget the RTV, don't forget to take off the red caps before you put the cover on or you'll be in strife there. Put the verandas in, the seals just like verandas, the nozzle seals, don't push them all the way in, just sit them there. Once you've got your pipes on, you push those in as you're putting your pipes on, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, there's a whole heap of stuff, right? You've got to watch all the videos. Once you get that on, you're pretty safe because you've got your inside your engine done, you've got your pipes on. Don't forget to put your stay top bolt in, tighten up the bottom stay bolt. You got all this stuff to put back on your fuel filter. You've got your throttle body that goes on, the side plate, your vacuum hoses, the pink and the yellow down there, the 2 at the top here. You got 1 on the actuator just there. All your clips have got to go back in place, or what you've got left of them, because the cars are getting a bit older. If you've done an E-jar clean, you've got a whole heap of other plugs And of course, eventually you get to the intercooler, goes on pretty straightforward. Check all your plugs, new map filter, vacuum lines, and then just go check everything and secure it with zip ties. And you know what, I reckon that's a pretty long video. There's a lot of info there, but you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day, and I can't teach you this whole job in one video. It's gonna go for about 30 hours. I'm gonna have to do 5 injector jobs in 30 hours and have someone rolling the video non-stop, showing you everything so you didn't miss a thing. I can't do it all in one video, mate. Not many people will watch it, and it's too time consuming. So I hope you understand. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on. Hope you like this one. Catch you on the next video. See ya.